Hi there, everyone, and welcome once again to Movin' Right Along, a Muppet Movie podcast brought to you by toughpigs.com. This is the podcast where we watch the Muppet Movie 2 minutes at a time and talk about it a lot. I'm your host, Ryan Rowe.
I'm your other host, Anthony Strand.
And today we have a guest who knows a thing or two about Muppets. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi there, I'm Danny Horn from toughpigs.com and Muppet Wiki and a bunch of places.
From many places.
Danny's being honest when he says from toughpigs.com, because what he means is he created toughpigs.com. He is our cool dad.
Yes.
Yes, all of those things are correct. Yes, I did create toughpigs.com, and then it just got to be too much for me after a while. It's exhausting writing about the Muppets all the time, and Ryan and Joe took it off my hands for bargain discount price.
But you, that was really an achievement, because that was a time when there weren't a million pop culture fan sites. So you were a pioneer.
Yes, yeah. I'm obviously so thrilled with everything you guys have been doing.
Oh, thank you.
Especially this podcast, which is so much fun. I'm really excited to be here.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's great to hear.
And today on this podcast, we are talking about minutes 41 and 42 of the Muppet Movie, in which Miss Piggy is crowned Miss Bogen County, and then for the rest of the clip, she sings the song Never Before, Never Again. So I want to just mention, I think at the end of the last clip, we heard Miss Piggy say the name of one of the runners-up, which is Debbie Sue. And then at the beginning of this clip, she says the name of the other runner-up, which I've never been able to quite understand. Is it Alma Jen? Alma Jean? What is this name?
It sounds like Alma Jane.
Yeah, I was thinking Alma Jane.
Alma, like A-L-M-A?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
Huh.
I can't explain it either.
Yeah, that's not a name that I'm familiar with.
I used to have a coworker named Elma. E-L-M-A. So Close enough.
That's only one letter away from Elmo.
Mm-hmm.
It's very big in Bogen County, the name Alma.
Apparently.
Yeah. That sounds right.
Yeah.
That's why you have to have Jane after it. There are so many Almas, in fact, that you need a second name.
Oh, so there might be an Alma...
There's so many Almas in the audience, actually.
Alma Carol, Alma Susan.
Yeah.
Alma Daphne.
Alma children. Yeah, they're out in the audience just crossing their arms.
Yeah.
And looking really upset. And then it just zooms in on Kermit and those people stop mattering.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that zoom in on Kermit, standing right behind Fozzie is Steve Whitmire. You can clearly see young, bearded Steve Whitmire here.
Yeah, is this our first Muppet performer cameo? No, our second Muppet performer cameo in the movie.
Frank Oz was very prominently a biker earlier.
Yeah.
But
here's Steve Whitmire, and you can see him kind of with his hand down. He's just itching to just move up underneath Kermit. He knew it was going to at some point.
He is. He's actually whispering in Kermit's ear, "That was my nickname in high school. It's in my yearbook."
He's still in high school. How old was he at this point?
Let's see. It's 1979. He would have been 21? 20? 20. He was born in 59.
Oh, little Steve Whitmire.
Wow. Yeah, he was pretty young when he joined up.
Yeah. Do we think Steve Whitmire's name is Alma?
Possibly.
Alma Steve?
In the world of this movie.
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But I also wanted to mention, so there's this shot where all the other runners-up just sort of they get down on one knee and they all gesture toward Miss Piggy she's the winner, all hail Miss Piggy. So apparently that was a condition of being in that competition, as you have to
kneel before your queen.
Yeah, before the winner.
Yeah. It's such a brilliant scene. I love this scene so much. Because right away it undercuts what is supposed to be the joke about Miss Piggy. And what on the show had been the joke, which is Miss Piggy thinks that she's beautiful, she thinks that she's a star, but in fact she's just fat, she's just a pig, all that kind of stuff. And so right away there's just no question of Miss Piggy gets on the stage and the stage creaks and or the swine trick tips over or whatever. There's none of that. It is just, this is Miss Piggy. She is our star. Everybody is absolutely thrilled. And so the entire world in that moment is just like all supporting and focusing on her and how beautiful she is.
Yeah, there's the one nod toward it where Charlie McCarthy says you'll never guess who the winner is, but then after that everyone accepts it.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
Completely.
Everyone except a ventriloquist dummy, except that Miss Piggy is the beauty.
Yeah, so then we have the dramatic zoom in on Kermit as he catches a glimpse of Miss Piggy and she catches a glimpse of him. I guess they put some kind of sparkly something on Piggy's eyes because they catch the light and just sparkle in a very dramatic way that almost looks like it's animated, but it's not.
It's it's just like a little lens flare, a little localized lens flare.
It definitely seems like an in-camera effect, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think is part of the movie's whole aesthetic of putting the Muppets in the real world, right? It's not a special effect. It's just something that happens to a camera when you're shooting things with a camera in real life. You're going to get lens flares, right? Like that's the effect they're going for, I think.
Well, she also it's the same little flash that you see in The Great Muppet Caper. When Miss Piggy's on the desk and she falls, and then she's in the trash can, and then she sees Kermit for the first time, and there's that same like glint in her eye.
Yeah, so she just has her shiny contact lenses in.
Yeah,
right. Although it's interesting that you bring that up because in The Great Muppet Caper, we also get birds flying around Kermit's head.
Yes.
Because that movie is more about the artifice, I think.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Right, and those are added in later.
For sure. I hope so.
Yeah.
The animator's hand would be very tired.
Yeah.
Very good. Those people are very good at their job.
Yeah. And then we have the song Never Before, Never Again, which is yet another one of these things that you really can't appreciate as a kid.
Yeah.
Like it's
agreed. I thought the lyrics it was so boring.
Yeah, the lyrics are so overwrought, and it's just like these romantic romantic montage, but it's hilarious, really.
Yeah, I love actually that the music. I mean, the song doesn't actually make sense.
No, not at all.
In any kind of real way. And something that I realized as I was like thinking that I was going to be on this episode, is that really none of the songs in the Muppet Movie make a whole lot of sense when you think about it. They're all like super tentative. Like starting out, with the Rainbow Connection, like the first line of the film, practically, is why are there so many songs about rainbows, which is a question that no one has ever asked, something that is impossible to answer, and
right.
And it struck me that all of the songs are basically doing that. Like every single song in the soundtrack has at least one question in it, and it usually asking a question that essentially invalidates the premise of that song. So like moving right along, like they're singing and wait, we did what? Like there's all these questions about like, are we actually driving anywhere in particular, or are we just going in circles? Can you picture that? Obviously the entire thing is a question, like, is what we're saying like possible for you to picture and even understand what we mean?
That one probably makes the least sense because it's what's appropriate to those characters.
Yeah, because it's sort of like the whole thing is about how intense and insane they are. But even like I hope that something better comes along is also essentially asking like, is this fun? Like, is this what we do? Is this how we behave as men? And then so really all of them are sort of these weird tentative, like nobody's really sure if what we're singing about is real. And then Never Before, Never Again, like just takes that, I think, to the max. So just because I know that people haven't necessarily memorized it, you guys don't mind if I'm just taking over like this? Is that okay?
No,
go for it.
I haven't written. This is the thing. I haven't written about the Muppets for a really long time, and so thinking about this, I've overthought it. But the lyrics. So never before have two souls joined so freely and so fast. Which I don't know. For me, this is the first time and the last. And then, is this an angel's wish for men?
I think that's my favorite line.
Yeah, there is no answer to that question, obviously.
My favorite line in the song doesn't come until the next minute. So that's a teaser. That's a little.
Oh, okay.
But for me, just the fact that
I think I get this.
So she just saw Kermit for the first time,
Yes.
And she's already deciding that this was like the grand plan of heaven and the angels, and everything has led up to this moment.
Yes. And then like the question that is the most baffling is then like halfway through is love was meant to light the stars, but when we touched, we made it ours. And could they take it back? Oh no, they wouldn't dare. Explain that question to me. Explain the premise of that question to me.
I think the premise of that question is, so this love is the angels' wish for men, right?
Right.
So the angels had a plan in mind for this love, which was in heaven,
yes,
not on earth, and that specific plan was to light the stars.
Yes.
But Piggy stole it. Right? So now the angels are theoretically without it.
Oh, I see.
And they need to take it back. But can they?
No, they would not dare. Exactly.
But then she says they wouldn't dare because there's enough to
share with all the world.
Yeah, share with all the world and fill the heavens above with leftover love. So
this is what I'm saying about Muppet Movie songs. They're all like this. They're all these weird little like Zen koan puzzles where like she states this premise that, you know, this is the greatest love that has ever existed, and is this an angel's wish for men? And then, but could they take it back from me? No, why should they? I don't know, Miss Piggy, you're the one that brought it up. We did not come to you and tell you. Yeah, so that's the whole thing is everybody has to question their place in the world, and specifically their place in these gorgeous and uncomfortable songs.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's just the whole thing is Miss Piggy's idea of romantic poetry.
Yes, yeah. This is what she thinks it's like.
Yeah, this is what she thinks it's supposed to be.
When you're romancing, is just essentially is this kind of tug of war with the angels.
Yeah. Paul Williams has said that he and Kenny Asher wrote the song with Frank Sinatra in mind, but I don't think Frank Sinatra would. As far as I know, he never recorded a cover of this or anything. I don't think he would have.
It's hard for me to imagine that.
Yeah, and then for whatever reason, he never even recorded it. He never even brought him in. But they did have Johnny Mathis record it for the purpose of being in the movie.
Who is very much bargain basement Frank Sinatra.
He's very much what?
A bargain basement Frank Sinatra.
Oh yeah, exactly. You can't get Frank Sinatra, so you go to Johnny Mathis. And I guess they got as far as actually some kind of rough...
You get Tony Bennett, and then if you can't get Tony Bennett, then you get Johnny Mathis.
Yeah, he's way down the list.
But, and then if you can't get Johnny Mathis, then you get Miss Piggy, obviously.
Well, but apparently they saw some kind of rough cut of it, and with Johnny Mathis singing, and Frank Oz suggested to Jim Henson that it would be funnier if Piggy sang it herself. He insists it's not because he wanted to take over the whole movie, but because he really thought it would be funnier. And I think he's right, because I can't imagine this being better with Johnny Mathis's like earnest, sincere voice singing.
No, he was as usual. Frank Oz's instincts, especially around Piggy, were exactly right.
Yeah, exactly. But then Johnny Mathis did sing it in the Muppets Go Hollywood TV special, so he did finally get to sing it, and it was not very funny.
Yeah, it was nothing.
Yeah, I think it's so much better with her sort of asking these, and her kind of because it's her fantasy.
It's her song. Yeah.
Right. Well, and I know we'll get into the visuals in a little bit, but I would guess that the original idea with Johnny Mathis doing it was that it would be like the comedy would come from the juxtaposition of this very sincere sounding song, and then these like very over the top fantasy visuals. But it wouldn't seem as much like Piggy's fantasy.
Yeah.
If it's like just some random crooner singing the song, right?
Actually, I guess that
singing it for us to feel like we're inside of her head, I think.
Well, that's actually what they did then with the Great Muppet Caper. I just realized that they actually have, like when you were just saying Piggy's Fantasy, I'm like, oh wait, Piggy's Fantasy. I think that's actually the name of that song.
Yeah,
the Great Muppet Caper. And Charles Grodin is the one, or supposedly Charles Grodin is the one,
right?
Who's singing that?
But again,
so they did. I guess actually they did get to they used that idea.
But again, like I said earlier, the Great Muppet Caper is all about how artificial everything is.
Yes.
Including in that number, your voice is dubbed. You can't even sing, right?
Right.
But here, it's like we're inside. I mean, I know that this is approximately how it happened, but like for the purposes of the movie within the movie, we are inside Piggy's real head.
Yes.
We're
Yeah.
seeing
Definitely.
what she's thinking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's I just can't imagine it with anyone else. Why would you want it to be anyone else?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I guess, I mean, this is pretty common now. I don't know when the whole thing started of having like a new pop song in a movie and having a famous singer do it on the soundtrack and playing it over, you know, a big important scene. So that's probably what they were thinking at first, but, you know, fortunately, Frank Oz had a better idea.
Yeah. It's just kind of one of those Muppet Movie moments where it's like, if they had done, everything feels like perfect in the movie. And if they had made any other choice, it kind of feels wrong.
Yeah.
I really like this movie,
Well,
is what I'm saying.
It's okay. It's
Yeah,
all right.
right.
I like it okay. You know, it's strange though, because this feels like it should be Piggy's signature song, like her Rainbow Connection or something. But outside of almost singing it in the Christopher Reeve episode, has she ever sung it again?
No, yeah.
I don't think so.
Like Gonzo has done I'm Going to Go Back There Someday. You know,
Yeah.
on
A few
stage
times.
with Paul Williams and on the Muppets from Space soundtrack.
Yeah.
And all this stuff.
I don't think that this would make sense outside of the context of this scene.
Yeah,
And
no,
just
you're
because-
right. The joke would be lost a little bit just to hear her sing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, the thing that makes it funny is first just the fact that she's singing it, and especially like the huge over the top ending. But then you need the visuals. We should probably talk about that.
Yeah, so anything else about the lyrics before we move on to the visuals?
No, I think I'm good.
Not
Okay.
right now.
Yeah, so it's just this montage of these sort of, again, over the top, but like sort of is it archetypal or archetypal? I'm never sure.
I'm gonna go with archetype.
Sure, do it.
Archetypal images of
They're
romantic.
archetypes, I believe.
They are archetypes. These moments. Yeah, so like we see Kermit and Piggy in a field. There's flowers. They're running toward each other, which I don't know. Is that a specific reference, or it seems like it is, but it might also just be kind of a trope or something that we all understand to be a thing that happens in romantic movies.
Well, in that American cinematographer article that we linked to several months ago,
Yeah.
James Frawley said in that article that he wanted each shot to be reminiscent of a different style of a love scene. So he doesn't say, you know, these are all references to my favorite specific movie scenes. It's a different style, right?
Yeah.
So I think they're all supposed to like evoke, young lovers in a field, or the, Regency out on a boat romance or whatever.
So we just sort of get what they are.
Right.
What they're going for.
Well, I think there are two that I know about that I can actually identify. One because I knew it, and then the other one because I read about it. The second one that's outside, so not the first one where they're running towards each other, but the one towards the end where I guess they're in a field and he's chasing after her. That's from Tom Jones.
Oh, okay. The best picture, not the pop scene.
Yes, yeah, the movie, which was 1960 something. I probably should have looked that up.
That's the one with Albert Finney?
Yes, the one with Albert Finney. And where if you look at that, you can see like the costume is the right kind of costume. That is beautiful and perfect. And then the streetlight scene I just read about is apparently from Brief Encounter, which is a 1945 movie that's based on a Noel Coward play that I've never seen and know nothing about except the sentence I'm saying right now. And it stars Celia Johnson and Trevor Howard, and I know that because I looked it up on Wikipedia. But beyond that, I know nothing about that movie.
It still works, though. I mean, I had never heard of it before. It just kind of looks like a generic film noir scene.
Yeah. I always thought of that as like a Humphrey Bogart.
Right. It feels
kind of
like
Maltese
it's a
Falcon. Yeah.
even though there's no lampposts in Casablanca.
Yeah.
Huh.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Or like a Maltese Falcon thing, except that's not how like it's not a romantic movie.
Right.
Yeah, but it's yeah. So if they are supposed to be like actual, like knowing that it's Tom Jones does not actually make that sequence really any more funny than it already is. So
Maybe it does if you've seen Tom Jones, though.
I have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I have not. It's a great movie, but like,
I have
yeah,
never
no,
seen it yet.
it's good. You should see it.
But
Yeah.
you
But
probably
that's
saw
not-
Tom Jones after you had already seen the Muppet Movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So when you saw the scene where they run toward each other in a field, were you like, "Oh, that's from the Muppet Movie. That's why they did that."
It took me a while to make that connection.
Yeah.
I figured it out eventually. But no, definitely. I mean, when I was a kid, I didn't. This was the most romancy movie probably I'd ever seen at that point.
It
Oh,
still
yeah.
is. I mean,
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Another interesting thing about the lamppost shot, in the June 1978 draft of the script, which I have been citing throughout this podcast, and which actually we have thanks to you, Danny.
You're welcome.
Yes. It says in the description, in the stage directions, it says Kermit lights a cigarette, lights 2 cigarettes and hands one to Piggy,
Oh gosh,
which obviously they did not do, but that would have been interesting.
that would have been, unfortunately, like that would have been the thing that like 20 years later they had to cut out of the DVDs. That would
They
have
definitely would have, yeah.
They
It
would have made the editing really difficult forever.
Yeah, it would have abruptly cut to the next shot.
Yeah, that was a lucky break for everybody.
Yeah.
right, for sure.
One thing that I really love about this montage is that they're completely showing off at this point. Like everybody pays attention to like Kermit on a bike because it's one of the early scenes and it's just so funny and striking. But they basically like, especially the boat, like rowing in the boat and they're both moving and it looks like everything's good. And then she's sitting on a rock and he's in what looks like a real pond. It's basically like the Ginger Rogers thing of like that scene is doing the Fred Astaire moves, but backwards in high heels. Like it's way more complicated than the riding a bicycle shot. But by that point, we're so used to seeing these characters outside that you hardly notice how unbelievably difficult that must have been.
That's a really good point because we talk about the Rainbow Connection scene all the time, but we never ever talk about Kermit swimming in a pond.
Yeah.
Right.
And actually underwater, like there's no like stump for him to hide behind. I actually don't know really how they accomplish those shots, but somebody is drowning.
Right.
Yeah, well, it kind of looks like Kermit is drowning.
Yeah.
Well, that and what I love about that scene, also in addition to the jaw-dropping puppetry, which I will acknowledge, is that so Kermit's naked almost throughout this entire scene.
Yes.
But in that scene, his clothes are sitting right next to Miss Piggy on the shore.
Oh, you're right.
So it seems like he's skinny dipping, like just for her amusement.
Yes.
The only time she's ever seen him, he's actually naked.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
I think you may have just picked up on a gag that the writers have been waiting for us to get for 40 years.
Yeah, some of these are like a real slow burn. I guess that's
Wow.
what this podcast is for, actually, right? It's just to keep talking about the same 2 minutes until we start noticing things that nobody else has.
Absolutely.
Right.
But yeah, they're just gorgeous shots. It's a gorgeous scene. I really, really love. I don't think I even have anything funny to say about it. I really, really love the shot that starts on her in the hat. This is like after the boat when they're by the waterfall, and it just like pulls back and she's looking up, and she looks at him, and there's nothing like explicitly funny about that shot, about that moment. It's basically just saying, look how beautiful we can make these puppets look.
Yeah,
just kind of for its own sake.
Also, the shot where they're in the boat, which I think is gorgeous, is also it's one of the theatrical posters, right? Is the Drew Struzan drawing of that, and the soundtrack album cover is the Michael Frith drawing of that, or painting, a painting in both cases.
Yes.
So like two different great artists did a version of that shot because it's such an amazing thing.
Yeah.
you know? So I don't have anything else to say. It's beautiful and I love it and I'm so glad it exists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny. Like, that isn't sort of an iconic like image that you really ever see anywhere. Like nobody has like when someone's talking about the Muppet movie, like that's not a picture that they use, if that makes sense.
Right. I think that's like what you were just saying about everybody kind of taking the stuff for granted by this point in the movie.
Yeah.
Well, and I think to the point where people kind of misremember the poster as being Rainbow Connection, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
people think of it as being Kermit on the log with his banjo, but he's not. He's in a boat with Miss Piggy with his banjo.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
In the poster. So.
And I think that's great about that is just the total acceptance, and this might be the first time that we really see that is in the Muppet movie is like the total acceptance that yes, Kermit and Miss Piggy actually are a couple, and whether they're like officially in love or whether he really thinks he's in love with her or not, like this is the moment where those are the two characters who are the most important in the world, basically. And that this is essentially a romance. Like this is a love story between Kermit and Piggy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what the people wanted to see.
Yeah. Whereas even I think at this point, it's like season 3 of the Muppet Show ish.
Yep.
Yeah.
But they do like the Marissa Berenson episode where Kermit and Piggy have a wedding, but it's a joke. It's basically like it's one big fat joke kind of.
Right. Well, and the John Cleese episode has the waiting at the church song, where like totally a joke.
Yes. Yeah.
Pregnant bride, and
And now here we are, like not even like maybe a year and a half later, and they're basically saying like, yes, okay, yeah, this is the couple. This is this is a love story, and this is what the Muppets are about now.
There we go.
And Kermit actually like, and you can see him being like genuinely thunderstruck. I guess I'm kind of going back to the same theme of just like how great it is that they're giving Miss Piggy like so much respect in this movie, that like Kermit, she's not hanging on him and he's not like trying to get away from her. He really they're falling in love in that moment.
Yeah, it's nice that he's really into it for once.
Yeah. I guess I'm like revealing myself as this huge like Kermit Piggy shipper.
I mean, again, you named your website Tough Pigs, so
I did.
Yeah, you probably revealed that a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that puts you.
I've always been on her side. Yeah.
Well, I have a few other notes about the song, but I can save those for next time.
Yeah, I say let's wrap it up. We're on.
All right.
Oh, is there a time limit on this? Nobody told me that.
No, there's no time limit.
Nah.
We just like to keep it generally relatively brief.
All right.
Relatively.
But I'll tell you what. When Danny Horn is here, we could run all night. So.
No, I think we're gonna be back next week, right?
Yes.
All right.
Come back.
And that episode will be 3 hours long.
Excellent. Okay, I got more material. Let's go.
Okay. So be sure, listeners, that you tune in for that episode. And in the meantime, please check us out on the internet at toughpigs.com and on Facebook and Twitter and various other things. You can find me on Twitter at @MeRyanRowe. You can find Anthony on Twitter at ZeppoMarxist. And Danny, where can everyone find you on the internet?
My current project is a daily blog about a 1960s vampire soap opera called Dark Shadows. The name of the site is darkshadowseveryday.com. On Twitter, it's DSEveryday.
And are you writing about every single episode of the show?
Yes. Yeah. It's like a more than 4-year project.
Yeah. What percentage have you finished at this
point?
I
have 120 more to go out of like
more than
1,000. Yeah, I'm getting down there.
Yeah, really.
I'm gonna finish this project. I don't have like another Joe and Ryan to hand it off to, so I need to finish it myself.
Yeah. All right. So, listeners, you have your work cut out for you. Go read about Dark Shadows, and be sure also to come back next week for another episode of Movin' Right Along. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.